Dear students, in this class, we'll discuss problems on retardation test and Hopkinson test. So let us see the problems on retardation test now. So here the given problem statement is a retardation test is made on a separately excited DC machine as a motor. The induced voltage falls from 240 volts to 220 volts in 25 seconds on opening the armature and in 6 seconds on suddenly changing the armature connection from supply to a load resistance, which takes average current of 10 ampere. Find the efficiency of the machine when running as a motor taking a current of 25 ampere on a supply of 250 volts. The resistance of its armature is 0.3 ohms and that of its field winding is 200 ohms. So here this is the problem which is related to the retardation test. So at the end you need to find out efficiency of the motor, and we know that retardation test is also called as running down test, which is used to calculate stray losses provided if we know the field and armature copper losses, right? So let us see the all given things and write all the data first. Okay, so here in this given case, average current, it is given as 10 ampere. So I average is 10 ampere. Then average voltage across the load, so voltage is changing from 240 volts to 220 volts. For this we need to take the average, so which will be 240 plus 220 divided by 2, because two voltage readings are given here. So average voltage will be 230 volts. Then calculate power absorbed. Power absorbed W dash is equal to V average into I average, where V average is 230 and I average is given as 10 amps. So altogether power absorbed W dash is equal to 2300 watts. Now time taken, T1 is equal to 25 seconds and T2 is equal to 6 seconds. It is given in the problem statement. Right, we know that stray loss W is given by the formula W dash into T2 upon T1 minus T2. So this is the formula to calculate stray losses. What is that? By using electrical braking method, right? So here W dash already have calculated as 2300, T2 is 6 divided by 20, T1 is 25 and T2 is 6. So after solving, we are getting stray losses as 726.31 watts. Therefore, stray loss in W is equal to 726.31 watts. And also in the problem statement, motor input current IL is given as 25 ampere. Then shunt field current ISH is equal to the ratio of input voltage by field resistance RSH, which is input voltage is 250 and field resistance it is 200. These are the given things in the problem statement, which will be 1.25 ampere. Now let us calculate armature current. So in the case of motor, armature current is equal to load current minus field current. So that is IL minus ISH, which is going to be 25 minus 1.25, which is going to be 23.75 ampere. Using this, now let us calculate armature copper loss given by the formula Ia square into Ra, where Ia is 23.75 whole square into armature resistance is 0.3 ohms. So altogether armature copper loss will be 169.21 watts. After this, we'll calculate shunt field copper loss, which is nothing but ISH square into RSH, where ISH is 1.25 whole square into field resistance RSH is 200 ohms. So this will be 312.5 watts. This is 312.5 watts. Okay. Now, after calculating armature copper loss, stray loss, and field copper loss, now let us calculate total loss. Total loss is nothing but what? Total loss is armature copper loss, which is 169.21, then field copper loss 312.5, finally the initially calculated stray loss, which is going to be 726.31. So all these are the going to give us total losses. So its sum will be 1208.02 watts, right? So this is how we have calculated total losses. Now in order to calculate efficiency, we want input and output information. So now let us calculate input to the motor, which is nothing but voltage into current. So voltage V is, input voltage is 250 and current taken from the supply is 25 amps. So altogether 250 into 25, which is going to be input to the motor, that is equal to 6250 watts. Now we'll calculate output to the motor. So here we have already calculated total losses and input. Using this, we'll calculate output now. So output is nothing but input minus losses. Input is 6250 and total losses is 1208.02 watts. So if we take the difference of this, we'll be getting output, that is 5041.98 watts. Now let us calculate efficiency of the motor eta m. Efficiency of the motor eta m is equal to output by input into 100, where output is 5041.98 and input is 6250 into 100 in order to convert in terms of percentage. So finally, after solving this, efficiency of the motor will be 80.67 percentage. 80.67 percentage. Fine. Now similarly, we'll see one 8 marks. So here the problem is a retardation test is carried out on a 1000 rpm DC machine. So here retardation test is carried out where initial speed of the machine is 1000 rpm. Time taken for the speed to fall from 1030 rpm to 970 rpm. So initial speed is 1000 rpm, but after disconnecting the power supply, the speed they have given, initial speed before 2000 is 1030 rpm. From there, if speed has been lowered to 970 rpm, now let us see the different conditions without excitation, with excitation, what is the time taken, everything. Okay, so for the speed of, for the speed to fall from 1030 rpm to 970 rpm is first one 40 seconds with no excitation. Then second case is what? With no excitation means field winding is open. Second case is 20 seconds with full excitation. Here we field current is provided to the machine. Then third one is what? 9 seconds with full excitation. So here 9 seconds with full excitation and armature supplying an extra load of 10 ampere at 225 volts. So here after that, after having 9 seconds with full excitation, armature is supplying the power to the extra electrical load, which is taking the current of 10 ampere at 225 volts. With all these given conditions of time and everything, here we need to estimate or calculate moment of inertia of the armature in kg meter square, that is I, capital I value, followed by that iron losses, then finally mechanical losses at the mean speed of 1000 rpm, right? So all these are the things, that is moment of inertia I, iron loss and mechanical loss, here we should calculate. Okay, so before solving this problem, let us see the points what are to be considered, but these points just you should remember, but no need to write in the problem while solving. Okay, solution. The points to be remembered while solving the problem are as follows. First one is what? When there is no excitation and armature is slowed down, its kinetic energy is used to overcome mechanical losses only, since there will be no iron losses as there is no flux. Because here in the first case they said 40 seconds with no excitation. So whenever there is no excitation, there will be only kinetic energy which is used to overcome the mechanical losses, and iron losses will be zero, because iron losses will come into picture only when there is a excitation, only when we give power supply to the field winding, right? Now second assumption is that when there is excitation provided, then kinetic energy is used to supply mechanical as well as iron losses. So when we give the excitation to the field winding, when we connect the field winding with some DC supply, then there will be kinetic energy. That kinetic energy, it will be consisting of what? Iron losses including mechanical losses, because if we give power supply to the field winding, it is giving us the flux. That flux means there is a presence of iron losses. So if there is no excitation, then kinetic energy is just simply used to overcome the mechanical losses. If there is excitation, means kinetic energy is used to overcome both mechanical as well as iron losses. So if mechanical losses is there, if iron loss is both they are there, means that is nothing but stray loss, because stray loss, it is the sum of mechanical and iron losses. If there is excitation, then there is stray loss. If there is no excitation, then there is only mechanical losses, which is used to be overcome by the kinetic energy. Okay, kinetic energy is used to overcome only mechanical losses with no excitation. These points you should remember, but no need to write all these points when solving the problem. Now, let us see the formulas here. Mechanical losses can be calculated using the formula Wm is equal to 2 pi by 60 whole square In dn by dt1. Okay, so only mechanical losses present means what? Here there is no excitation. Here there is no excitation. Whatever kinetic energy it is there, that kinetic energy is used to overcome the, what is that? Only simply mechanical losses. So Wm is given by 2 pi by 60 whole square. I, that is moment of inertia, n is the speed, and dn by dt1 first time. Okay. Then similarly the stray losses. Stray losses are given as, so I told you stray losses is nothing but what? Sum of mechanical and iron losses. This is the formula. This will come into picture only when we give the power supply to the field winding, only when we give the excitation. If there is excitation, then kinetic energy it is used to overcome mechanical losses along with the iron losses. So that such loss we call it as stray losses, which is written as Ws, that is equal to same formula 2 pi by 60 whole square In, but now time taken here is dn by dt3, because here we have given the excitation. Now let us calculate the change in the speed or difference in the speed, that is dn is equal to initial speed is 1030 rpm. From this speed has been lowered to 970 rpm. So 1030 minus 970, its difference is 60 rpm. And whatever the time intervals it is given in the problem statement here, it is given here 40 seconds, 20 seconds, 9 seconds. All these are the different intervals of time where T1 is 40 seconds, T3 is 20 seconds, and T2 is 9 seconds. Okay. Now, when power supply is disconnected from the motor, when motor is disconnected from the power supply, then armature it is going to supply to the additional electrical load. Then the power absorbed W dash, when armature is suddenly connected to the load, is given by the formula W dash is equal to product of voltage into current. So here these values are given in the problem statement. Voltage at the time when armature is connected to the electrical load, then voltage will be 225 volts and current drawn by the electrical load is 10 ampere. So altogether power absorbed, that is electrical braking method, power absorbed W dash is equal to 2250 watts. Now this is the W dash formula. Now the same stray losses if you want to calculate using electrical braking method, this is the formula. What is that? Stray losses using electrical braking method formula is electrical power absorbed W dash into ratio of T2 upon T3 minus T2. These are the different intervals of time. Now here T2 is nothing but time required when armature is connected to the load, and T3 is time required full excitation. So here T2 is what? This is the time interval when armature is connected to the load, means some electrical load. And what is this T3? T3 is the time required for providing the full excitation to the field winding, right? With this, Ws is equal to W dash. W dash already we have calculated, which is nothing but power absorbed. Electrical power absorbed is 2250, and T2 when armature is connected to the load, that is 9 seconds. It is given the problem statement. Here you can see 9 seconds with full excitation and the armature supplying an extra load of 10 ampere. Okay, so this is T2. Okay, then what is remaining now? T3. T3 is with full excitation. What is that? T3 is 20 seconds. T3 is 20 seconds, whose value here is given as 20 seconds with full excitation. So using all these formulas, now here we are going to calculate for the, what is that? Here we are going to calculate so now Ws is equal to, what is that? W dash into T2 upon T3 minus T2. So where W dash is 2250, T2 is 9, and T3 with full excitation 20. T2 is once again 9. So after solving this, stray losses will be 1840.90. So here this we have calculated was stray losses. Now let us calculate same stray loss by using flywheel method formula. Using flywheel formula method means 2 pi by 60 whole square I and dn by dt3. So here WS is 1840.9, then in is equal to 2 pi by 60 whole square. I, that is moment of inertia, is unknown. Speed of the motor is 1000 rpm. Change in the speed, dn is, what is that, already we have calculated, 1030 minus 970 is 60, and time taken for that is 20. So all together, after solving this, here we are getting the value for moment of inertia I, which will be 55.95 kg meter square. So this is the first parameter what we have calculated using the problem statement here. Now let us see the next case. Dividing equation 1 by equation 2. So equation 1 is what? Equation 1 is the mechanical loss, and equation 2 is the stray loss information. So equation 1 by equation 2 means Wm by Ws. So if I take the ratio of Wm by Ws, then same terms like 2 pi by 60 I and n, everything will be cancelled, even speed will be getting cancelled, only we are left out with the time information. Okay, Wm by Ws is equal to the rest of the time information. Okay, so Wm by Ws is equal to dt3 by dt1, it will be there. So simply we are taking the dt3 as t3 and dt1 as t1. So t3 is 20 seconds and t1 is 40 seconds. So now Wm, that is mechanical loss by stray loss, is equal to 0.5. So from this, once again, we can calculate mechanical loss. Therefore mechanical loss is equal to ratio of Ws by 2. Ws by 2. What is Ws? This is nothing but the stray loss, which is nothing but 1840, which we have already calculated here, Ws value. So this is the stray loss value, 1840.9 divided by 2. Its half value is 920.45. This is the mechanical loss. So after calculating the moment of inertia first parameter, then we have calculated for the mechanical loss. This is the second parameter. Then finally, we are going to calculate for the iron loss. Iron loss is nothing but what? Stray loss minus mechanical loss. With excitation, without excitation. Very simple, yes or no? So with excitation means Ws, that is stray loss. Without excitation means what? Only considering mechanical loss. So if we deduct stray losses from the, if we deduct mechanical losses from the stray loss, that is Ws minus Wm, we are going to get iron losses, where iron loss is nothing but Ws minus Wm, that is equal to 1840 minus 920.45. So once again, finally the iron losses will be 920.45, right? So this is about retardation test problem. Now here we will see the problem related to Hopkinson test. So the problem statement belonging to the Hopkinson test here is, the following results were obtained during Hopkinson test on two 230-volt machines. So this problem is based on Hopkinson test method now, and where Hopkinson test is also called as regenerative test or back-to-back test, where we are using two machines, one acting as a motor, other acting as a generator. Okay. Now let us see the problem statement here. The following results were obtained during Hopkinson test on two similar 230-volt machines. Armature currents 37 ampere and 30 ampere. Field currents 0.85 ampere and 0.8 ampere. Calculate the efficiencies of machines if each has armature resistance of 0.33 ohms. So here whatever information it is there, this is the armature current of the motor and this is the armature current of the generator. This is the field current of motor and this is the field current of generator. And here they have given we need to calculate efficiencies of the machines if the armature resistance Ra of the motor is 0.33 ohms. Similarly, Ra of the generator, that is armature resistance of the generator, is also 0.33 ohms. So before going to solve the problem, we should know the circuit diagram for Hopkinson test, and this circuit diagram, this belongs to the Hopkinson test including the field winding method. Here we have included the field winding method. So here this is the motor and this is the generator, and as per the given statement, armature current of the motor is 37 ampere. This we should indicate, and armature current of the generator, the outward direction, that is 30 ampere. Field current of the motor is 0.85. So this is the field current of the motor. So 37 plus 0.85 means 37.85. This is the entering current inside the motor. Similarly, 0.8 ampere is the field current of the generator. So if 30 ampere is moving in this way and zero point 0.8 is entering into the field, so 30 minus 0.8 is 29.2 ampere. So altogether the input current, everything we have marked here, and then finally calculate the efficiencies of the machine. So here we are getting 29.2. Okay, so here if it is 29.2 ampere and here if it is 37.85, so if I take the difference of 37.85, the current which is entering into the motor, then from this if I subtract 29.2, then it will be 8.65. So 8.65 is the current that is taken from the input power supply lines, and voltage to the motor is 230 volts DC plus minus. Okay, figure 2.82 shows the distribution of the current in generator and motor. Let us calculate the losses in case of both the machines. So here this is the circuit diagram representing Hopkinson test including field winding method, and all these current values we have written based on the given data. Okay, now let us calculate the different losses for the motor. So for the motor, armature copper loss is equal to Ia square into Ra. Ia square into Ra. So Ia value of the motor is 37 and Ra is 0.33. So this will be 451.77 watts. Similarly, field copper loss. Field copper loss here is V into ISH. V is 230 and the field current of the motor is 0.85, which will be 195.5 watts. So total copper loss is equal to armature copper loss plus field copper loss, which is going to be 451.77 plus 195.5, that is equal to 647.27 watts. Okay, these are the total copper loss for the motor. Similarly, let us calculate for the generator. For generator, armature copper loss is once again Ia square into Ra. So armature current for the generator here in this case is 30 ampere. So 30 square into Ra, armature resistance of the generator is 0.33, which will be 297 watts. Now let us calculate the field copper loss for the generator. So here for the field copper loss, current through the field winding of the generator is 0.8 and voltage is 230. So 230 into 0.8. So 230 into 0.8 is equal to 184 watts. 184 watts. So altogether total copper loss of the generator is armature plus field copper loss, which is going to be 297 plus 184, that is equal to 481 watts. Now after individually calculating the losses for motor and generator, completely we will calculate the things for motor generator set. Now for motor generator set, total copper loss for the set, total copper loss means copper loss of the motor plus copper loss of the generator, that is 647.27 plus 290 481. So total copper loss for the set is 1128.27, and power taken from the supply is voltage V, that is 230 into current is 8.65. 230 into 8.65. This is the current taken from the power supply. So if I take the VI value, it will be 1989.5 watts. So after calculating total losses for the motor generator set and calculating the input supply, now let us calculate the stray loss. Stray loss is nothing but what? Input supply minus total copper loss. Input supply is 1989.5 minus total copper loss for motor generator set is 1128.27, whose difference will be the stray loss, which is nothing but 861.23. And for the Hopkinson test, we are using identical machines. So whatever the stray losses we have calculated here, this is the stray loss of both the machines. If we take it half, then that is the stray loss for each machine, which will be 861.23 divided by 2, that is equal to 430.615. This is the stray loss for machine separately, for the motor separately. Similarly, 430.615, this is the stray loss for generator separately, because both are identical, both are having same ratings. Now let us calculate the efficiency of the motor. Efficiency of the motor is equal to motor input V into I. V into I, let us see here. What is the voltage to the motor? Voltage to the motor is 230. And what is the current entering into the motor? 37.85. So 230 into 37.85, this is the input to the motor, which is going to be, what is that, 8705.5 watts. So you should write the units here, 8700 705.5 watts. Now let us calculate the motor output. Motor output is nothing but what? Input minus losses. Input minus losses means what? Copper loss for the motor plus stray loss, right? Losses means copper loss plus stray loss. So here in this case, input for the motor is 8705.5 minus copper loss of the motor is 647.27 plus stray loss. Stray loss here is 430.615. So altogether motor output will be 7627.615 watts. So after calculating output and input, let us calculate efficiency of the motor. Eta m is equal to output by input into 100. So where output is 7627.615 watts divided by input is 8705.5 into 100, which is going to be 87.61 percentage. So this is the efficiency of the motor. Now similarly, let us calculate efficiency of the generator. Output of the motor is nothing but input to the generator, because both motor and generator, they are coupled mechanically. So whatever output of the motor will be there, that is nothing but input to the generator. So generator input is equal to motor output, which is nothing but 7627. Motor output is nothing but input to the generator, which is nothing but 7627.615 watts. Now generator output is nothing but what? Input minus losses. So input minus losses means what? Generator copper loss plus stray losses. So input here is 7627.615 minus copper loss of the generator is 481, initially we have calculated, and stray loss of the generator is 430.615. So after this we will be getting generator of the output, which is going to be 6716 watts. So this is the output of the generator. Then finally we will calculate efficiency of the generator. Efficiency of the generator, eta g is equal to output by input into 100, where output is 6716 divided by input is 7627.615 into 100. So efficiency of the generator, eta g is equal to 88.04 percentage. 88.04 percentage. Now we will see another problem based on the Hopkinson test. The Hopkinson test on two shunt machines give the following results for full load, where line voltage is 250 volts, current taken from the supply system excluding the field current, that is 50 ampere, motor armature current is equal to 380 ampere, field currents 5 ampere and 4.2 ampere, 5 ampere for the generator and 4.2 ampere for the motor respectively. Calculate the efficiency of the motor and generator. Resistance of each of the Assume resistance of each machine for the armature as 0.02 ohms. So this is also important question which is asked for 10 marks in the final VTU exam. And here this is a problem based on Hopkinson test excluding field winding method. Initially whatever we have discussed so far, that is Hopkinson test including field winding method, but now this problem is based on Hopkinson test excluding field winding method. So here we used to first draw the circuit diagram, and whatever formulas they are there for the Hopkinson test excluding field winding method, those formulas we should make use and we should solve the problem here. Okay, first let us see the solution here. Solution is that connection of the machines for Hopkinson test is shown in the figure 2.8.3. So figure 2.8.3 is this one, where you can see that this is the excluding Hopkinson test use excluding field winding method. So here field winding of the motor as well as field winding of the generator, these two windings, they are directly connected to the input power supply. They are directly connected to the input power supply, and because of that we call this Hopkinson test method as Hopkinson test method excluding field winding method. Now here we will calculate the first draw all the circuit diagram excluding field winding method and represent all the current information. So this is motor which is coupled mechanically in parallel fashion to the generator, and whatever the information it is given for the field current for motor generator, so similarly armature current for motor and generator, write all those values, and then we will calculate the rest of the losses here. So here it is given that motor armature current is 380 ampere. Motor armature current is 380 ampere. So this is the motor armature current, and also they have given what is that field current of the generator phi. Field current of the generator is phi, and apart from that, field current of the motor is 4.2. Field current of the motor is 4.2, and how much current it is going to draw? Current taken from the power supply is 50 ampere. So current taken from the power supply is 50 ampere. So here if it is 50, and here if it is motor armature current is 380, so from this we get generator armature current, which is nothing but difference of 380 minus 50. 380 minus 50, it is going to be 330 ampere, which is the generator armature current. And now from this also they have given motor field current as 4.2 ampere, and also they have given generator field current, that is 5 ampere. So write all the values whatever they are given. So here if it is 380 and here if it is 330, and then here 380 is entering but here 330 is leaving. So here once again if I apply the KCL, once again the current at this position is 380 minus 330, once again it is 50 ampere, and input to the motor is 250 volts DC supply. So all these things, after drawing the circuit diagram, you should know the circuit diagram how to draw for excluding field winding method for Hopkinson test and including field winding for Hopkinson test, and this problem is based on Hopkinson test using including excluding field winding methods. This is a circuit diagram, and all these values you should write it first by analyzing the data whatever it is given in the problem statement, and after that we will solve the problem here. Now let us calculate the losses for the generator. For generator, armature copper loss Ia square into Ra. What is the armature current here? 330, and its armature resistance is given as 0.02 in the problem statement. So 330 square into 0.02, it will be 2178 watts. Now let us calculate field copper loss for the generator. So field copper loss means V into ISH of the generator. V is 250, ISH of the generator is 5 ampere. 250 into 5. So 250 into 5 is going to be 1250 watts. Now similarly we will calculate losses for the motor now. For the motor, armature copper loss is Ia square into Ra. Ia is 380, armature current of the motor is 380 square, and Ra is 0.02. 380 square into 0.02, it will be 2888 watts. And now we will calculate the field copper loss. Field copper loss is equal to V into ISH. So V is 250, ISH field current of the motor is 4.2. 250 into 4.2, it will be 1050 watts. So here separately we have calculated what is that total copper loss of the generator and total copper loss of the motor. Now we will calculate what is the input to the motor. Power drawn from the supply is equal to V into I. What is V? V is the input voltage, that is 250, and current is 50 ampere to the motor generator side. So 250 into 50, which will be 12.5 kilowatt, or otherwise 12,500 watts. So this is the input to the motor. After calculating input and after calculating the different total armature copper loss, field copper loss for motor and generator set, now let us calculate the what is that stray losses. Or stray loss is nothing but what? Iron friction and windage loss for both the machines. So that is nothing but input minus total losses. So input is 12,500 minus total copper loss for both motor and generator. For the motor, it is 2008. For the motor, if I add these two, this will be total copper loss for the motor, and if I add these two, this will be the total copper loss for the generator. So all together we can see here motor loss of the total copper loss of the motor, total copper loss of the generator. These two If we deduct from the input supply, then we are going to get stray loss, which is nothing but iron friction and windage loss. And these are the stray loss for both the motor and generator sets. So divided by 2. So for each machine, stray loss is equal to 7434 divided by 2, which will be 3717 watts. So this is the stray loss of each machine. Now calculate the efficiency of the generator separately. So for generator, total loss is what? Field copper loss for plus armature copper loss plus friction iron loss, that is stray loss. So field copper loss is already we have calculated for the generator, which is nothing but 1250 plus armature copper loss is 2178. Add these two values, along with that add the recently calculated what is that stray loss, that is 3100 sorry 3717. This is armature, this is field copper loss plus what is that stray loss. So if I add all these things, then this is the total loss of the generator. Now generator output is V into I. V into I. What is the current here? You can see current here in this case is 330, means armature current we should see. So voltage is 250 and current that is given by the generator is 330. So product of 250 into 330 is output of the generator, whose value is going to be what is that? Its value is 250 into 330 is 82,500 watts or 82.5 kilowatts. Now calculate a generator input. Generator input is nothing but what? Output plus total losses. Output is 82,500 plus losses is 7,145. So our generator input will be 89,645 watts. After calculating output and input, finally the efficiency of the generator percentage eta G is equal to output by input into 100, where output is 89,645 divided by input is 89,645 into 100, which is going to be 92.02 percentage. This is the efficiency of the generator. Now similarly, let us calculate efficiency for the motor. For the efficiency of the motor calculation, let us calculate total loss. Total loss is nothing but what? Field copper loss plus armature copper loss plus friction loss, that is sorry plus stray loss, which is nothing but iron and friction losses. So 2888, which is the field copper loss, 1050 armature copper loss, and 3715 so 3717, this is the stray loss. All these things we have calculated in the beginning itself. So its sum will be 7655. This is the total loss. Now let us calculate motor input. Motor input here formula is what? Voltage into armature current plus field current. So voltage into armature current plus field current means, so voltage is 250, and here what is the armature current and field current is that here motor armature current is 380 ampere plus field current is 4.2 ampere. So 4.2 plus 380 means 384.2 into 250. This will 380 plus 4.2. This will be 384.2 multiplied by 250. So this is going to be the input to the motor, which is nothing but the electrical input. So altogether, what is that? Motor input is equal to V into IA plus ISH, that is 250 into 380 plus 4.2, which is going to be 96,050 watts. So after knowing the losses and input, let us calculate the output. Motor output is equal to motor input minus total losses. Motor input here in this case is 96,050 and losses is 7,655, which is going to be 88,395. And finally, efficiency of the motor eta M is equal to output by input, that is nothing but 88,395 divided by 96,050 into 100, that is equal to efficiency of the motor is 92.03 percentage. Okay, so this is how we have calculated the efficiency for motor and generator using Hopkinson test. Now similarly, we will solve one more problem based on Hopkinson test excluding field winding method, and this is also one of the important question which will be asked in the final UT exam for 10 marks. So here the given problem statement is two identical DC shunt machine when tested by Hopkinson method give the following data. Line voltage is 230 volt, line current excluding the field current is 30 ampere, motor armature current is 230 ampere, field currents 5 ampere and 4 ampere. So The armature resistance of each machine is 0.025 ohms. Calculate the efficiency of both the machines, right? So as I told you, first we should draw the Hopkinson test circuit diagram excluding field winding method, motor and generator, and where generator field winding and motor field winding, they are directly connected to the power input lines. So as per the given data, 230 is the input voltage and 30 ampere is what? 30 ampere is the input current taken from the to the input motor supply, and here motor armature current is 230 ampere. So 230 minus 30, that is going to be the generator armature current, that is 200 ampere. And also they have given the field current 5 ampere for the generator and 4 ampere for the motor. So for the motor field current is 4 ampere and for the generator field current is 5 ampere. Okay, this is 5 ampere. And armature resistance of each of the machine Ra is equal to 0.025 for motor as well as generator. With all the given things, now same method you should follow like what you have seen in the previous problem, and we should calculate the efficiency for motor and generator. Everything is same, only data is changed here. Okay, now let us see the solution part. Finally calculate the efficiency for both the machines, that is for motor and generator we should calculate the efficiency. So the arrangement is shown in figure 2.8.4. So this is the circuit diagram for Hopkinson test excluding field winding method, and all these values you have written based on the given information. Okay, input voltage is 230 and armature resistance for motor and generator is 0.025 ohms. Then motor armature current is 230 ampere and current drawn is 30 ampere. So 230 minus 30, this is nothing but generator armature current, which is nothing but 200 ampere. Okay. For the generator, now let us calculate the motor armature copper loss, that is Ia square into Ra. So here Ia square is 200 square in Ia square means for the motor armature current is 230, that is 230 square into armature resistance is 0.025, which is nothing but 1322.5 watts. Then let us calculate field copper loss for the motor. V into ISH. V is 230 and ISH is 4. So 230 into 4 is 920 watts. So this is the total copper loss for the motor. Now similarly, we will calculate total copper loss for the generator. For the generator, armature copper loss Ia square into Ra is the formula. Ia is 200, that is 200 square into Ra is 0.025, that is going to be 1000 watts. Now let us calculate the generator field copper loss. Generator field copper loss is V into ISH of the generator. ISH of the generator is 5 and V is 230. 230 into 5, which is nothing but 1150 watts. Okay. Now after calculating armature and field copper loss for the generator, total copper loss for both the machines, for both the machines means the sum of 1322.5 plus 920 plus 1000 plus 1150. So if I add all these things to this, is going to be the total copper loss for both motor and generator, that is 4392.5 watts. Okay, then let us calculate the power taken. Power taken is what? 230, that is the voltage, and current 4 plus 30 plus 5. 4 means field current, 30 means this motor input current, and 5 is the field current of the generator. So 4 plus 30 plus 5 into 230. So this is going to be the input to the input power supply taken. So which will be what? 230 into 30 plus 5 is 35 plus 4 is 39. So altogether 230 into 39 is 8970 watts. So after calculating input supply and calculating total copper loss, let us calculate the stray losses for both the machines first. 8970 is the input minus total copper loss is 4392.5. So it will be the stray losses for both the machines. If I make it half, that is the stray loss for each machine, which is nothing but 4577.5 divided by 2, that is 2288.75. This is the stray loss for each of the machine. Now we will calculate efficiency for generator and efficiency for the motor separately. So first we will calculate efficiency of the generator. Total losses in the generator is what? Generator armature copper loss, generator field copper loss plus stray loss. Armature copper loss is 30, field copper loss for generator is 1150, and stray loss is 2288.5. Altogether total loss for the generator is 4438.75 watts. Now calculate generator output. Output of the generator is V into I. Voltage is 230 and generator armature current is 200. So it will be 46,000 watts. Finally, calculate input. Input is nothing but what? Output of the generator plus total losses of the generator. So output is 46,000 watts and input is 4438.75. So input will be 50,438.75 watts. Now calculate the efficiency of the generator. Efficiency of the generator is what? Output by input. Output is 50,000, sorry, output is 46,000 and input is 50,438.75 into 100. So altogether efficiency is 91%. Okay, so this is the efficiency of the generator. Similarly, now let us calculate efficiency of the motor now. So motor armature copper loss is what is that? 1322.5. Motor field copper loss is 920 watts and stray loss is 2288.75 watts. So all together, if I add these three things, then here we will be getting what? For this, we are going to get the information for motor armature copper loss. So if I add these three values, we will be getting motor total losses. That is, total losses in the motor is motor armature copper loss, motor field copper loss plus stray loss. That is sum of all these three. 1322.5 plus motor field copper loss, that is nothing but 920 plus stray loss. Stray loss is 2288.75. If I add all these three, then total losses in the motor is 4531.25 watts. Now let us calculate motor input. Motor input is what? Voltage into armature current plus field current. So motor voltage is 230 and armature current is what is that? 230 plus motor armature current. So here 230 plus 230 plus 30. So here you can see that the input to the motor is 230. This is the input plus IA into ISH. So if you take these values, then finally the answer for this will be what? 53,820 watts. So this is the motor input. Finally calculate motor output. Output is motor output is equal to motor input minus total losses in the motor. So motor input is 53,820 and motor total loss is 4,531.25 watts. So altogether this will be the motor output, which is nothing but 49,288.75 watts. With all this, let us calculate efficiency of the motor. That is, E time is equal to motor output by motor input, that into 100. So motor output is 49,288.75 divided by motor input is 53,820 into 100, which will be 91.58%. So this is the efficiency of the motor, and in the beginning we have calculated efficiency of the generator. So this is how we are going to calculate efficiency of the motor and generator using Hopkinson test, excluding field winding method. So this is one of the important question which will be asked in the final VT exam. So practice all these problems. Fine. So here you should calculate all the things